Well, welcome back to another edition of Sports to the Wire. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm your host, as always, Rasheed White. All right, this comes out of the Nets Wire that supposedly, I don't know how definitive this actually is, that the Minnesota Timberwolves is actually looking to assimilate Ben Simmons' contract. And like, seems like the people in the Nets Wire, whoever wrote this stuff, is actually really good about this. And I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with people today, man. Let's get into this article. I don't know, man. It says, according to the Bleacher Report, the top target for the Minnesota Timberwolves during free agency is to get Brooklyn's Ben Simmons contract off the books, or on the books. Okay. Yeah, for the Minnesota Timberwolves to actually get Ben Simmons' contract on the books. So it seemed like they signed Naz Reid, and Sean Marks actually missed the boat on that free agent signing right there. Even if you had to go over the luxury tax right there a little bit, that's a perfect contract right there, man. 3 years, $42 million for a stretch big who can actually put the ball on the floor, defend a little bit, run the floor. I mean, that would have been perfect for us, but we didn't get him. So it looks like they actually value Naz Reid more than actually do Karl Anthony Towns. And then you want to give them a player that the Minnesota Timberwolves doesn't even want. All right? So they said Simmons, 26, has 2 years and nearly $78 million left on his 5-year, $177 million contract that he signed, blah, blah, blah. And now they're saying, actually, this is one of the worst contracts in the league. Listen, why? It's not the worst contract in the league. He's just injured. He's hurt. Nobody's saying that about Karl Anthony Towns. Nobody's saying that about Zion, who hasn't even made an all-star team. Nobody said, oh, that's the worst contract in the league. And then they should have never signed him, man. Oh, gosh. All right, nobody's saying that about Zion. So why are you saying that about Ben Simmons? It doesn't make any damn sense. So he had a bad playoff series? Like, what NBA player, which all-star player didn't have a bad NBA? And you want me to go over the list? Should I run down Jokic when he got manhandled in the bubble by Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, and Anthony Davis? I mean, come on, man. Like, this is ridiculous over here. All right, they're saying while Simmons is considered by too many to have one of the worst contracts at this moment. It's not true over there. It said pairing Towns with Rudy Gobert in an era where playing two big men has little to no upside. Oh, that's because that Karl Anthony Towns doesn't want to sacrifice. He actually wants to be the guy. And yes, he can actually stretch the floor, but you guys, listen. Mikal Bridges, right? He can score. He could score like 26-something points a game, 30-something points a game, but he's not an explosive athlete. All right? So you don't have to run an immediate double team on Mikal. Now, somebody like a Pascal Siakam, a Giannis, a Ben Simmons, who has explosiveness and can get downhill quick, get to the rim in 3-4 dribbles, will actually draw two, three teammates. Oh, I'm sorry, defenders, I'm sorry. And that can actually leave Karl Anthony Towns wide open. So if you trade Ben Simmons for Karl Anthony Towns, you're not going to have, they can just stay right. They're going to stay attached to him. He's not going to be able to really get any kind of wide open looks. Who are you going to have running your point guard position? Spencer Dinwiddie? I told you, man, like when we lost about 10 games because of Dinwiddie. 10 games this year. We actually could have been the 5th seed. But the way end of game situations, he turns the ball over. He has a horrible shot selection. I see teammates wide open. He doesn't pass them the ball. What Ben actually does, Ben sets screens. He can post up smaller defenders. And you have 2 years left. Again, you get Ben back this year. Last year, when he was hobbled in the plus-minus category, he was a plus 40. Okay? A plus 40. So he actually does have an impact on winning. All right? So we go. I should have looked at the plus minuses on Spencer Dinwiddie, but I know it's not good. Over dribbles. And he's not a point guard. All right? He doesn't want to run an offense. He wants to score. Okay, I don't know what people really can't comprehend over here. Ben Simmons is a point guard. You need a point guard. You need somebody to actually run an offense. So it says Brooklyn over here. Brooklyn could get a stretch big that has been looking for in towns, while Minnesota gets some draft picks and a contract for, at the very least, in the 2 years from expiring if Simmons is unable to attain his prior form. Well, I think he's going to get to his prior form. All right, so I think he's probably going to get, I wouldn't say 100% of that, but even 90% of that. We saw 50% of that this past season, and it was a plus 40. The ball moves better when he actually is playing. All right, so the ball moves. The ball has to move. You have to move the ball. East, west, north, south. I mean, that's the best way to actually play basketball. Not heavy isolation. And this is what Karl Anthony Towns actually wants to do. He doesn't make anybody else better. He doesn't protect the rim. I mean, let's say when he does get at the rim, he doesn't look to try to challenge, like block shots. He doesn't do that. He tries to swipe down at the ball. He's a horrible defender. Ben Simmons is an excellent defender. And you have 2 years left. So if it does not work out with Ben Simmons, just trade him as an expiring contract in the following year, the 24-25 season. That's it. You have 1 year. You get Karl Anthony Towns. The Brooklyn Nets are not winning the championship in 5 years. $256 million left on Cat's contract. I mean, yeah, he's 27 years old, but I mean, you need to, in order for it to work, Karl Anthony Towns, his strength is actually really just shooting, like hitting threes and being a really good catch and shoot 3-point shooter. You know, he's not like, he's not Giannis. He's not Joel Embiid. I don't think you can run your offense to him because he doesn't pass. He doesn't make anybody else better. There's just so much facets to basketball that just people don't understand. And if these guys who actually writes these articles go out there and play the game, then they will actually truly understand. All right, so like, comment, subscribe, certainly share this video. And when you share, the universe certainly shares back with you. Peace.